Welcome to the Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. You must be pretty awesome, you know? You must be a pretty good person if you're here listening to our podcast.
Must be a cool dude or cool chick.
Yeah, you're looking for some luck of the podcast. You know what? Season's about to kick off, or it is already kicked off where you live. Good luck to you. Luck of the podcast. Welcome back. Get yourself a kill cap. We should do something for everybody that buys like one of our hats and post a picture with like a successful hunt, like with whatever critter you shot. We should do some sort of
post it on Facebook and Instagram. We can do it right on there.
Yeah, tag us in your stories, and then we'll file them that way, and we'll make like a, you know, on the Instagram page how you can do like there's a little circle like stories for the year or whatever.
Yep.
We'll do like 20, 21 kills.
Yep.
And then we'll
do a recap of all the kills and stuff.
Yeah, they're kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to have Working Class Bow Hunter merch on.
Yeah.
And we'll just pick a winner at the end of the year. We literally just thought of that on the fly.
It's a great idea.
It's what we do.
Hey.
Do we ever plan anything out?
Not really. No. We need to do a better job.
Bunch of idiots.
Just a bunch of idiots. This podcast is recorded in South Dakota goat/mule deer camp. So during this episode, this is not a studio quality show. You can actually hear the faint rumblings of a generator running in the background, running our equipment and a freezer. But hey, we're just a bunch of wage brains just making do with what we got. And
right.
This is a podcast where if nothing has ever accurately explained what the ups and downs and the mental game of bow hunting are, you're going to really tell that I'm in that mind state during the recording of this podcast. I had some crazy stuff happen to me, and we all kind of ate some humble pie on this trip, which
we did for sure.
We'll have a follow-up podcast for the last couple days of camp after this was recorded, and you can definitely hear I'm in a slump in the bow hunting game. Slump, but like positive in a weird way. I can't explain it. You just got to hear it for yourself. You'll think I'm full of shit. I don't know what else to say
You're
about it.
You're definitely in a weird...
Who wouldn't be, though?
Right.
You know?
Whatever. I mean, I think everyone would be.
It's kind of... It's getting awesome now. But you'll hear that. You'll hear that I'm in like a weird spot mentally, which is kind of... I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
It happens.
It happens. The podcast is brought to you by HHA Sports, and you can save yourself some money on an HHA Rest or site using code WCB15. Super thankful for their partnership and everything they're about. American made. They support our veterans, and it's just good products. Also, Scent Crusher. And I'm sick. I apologize if you can hear the nasally and sniffles in my voice. Scent Crusher. We should be running the room clean right now to help kill the germs in the air so nobody else gets sick. You want to plug that in there, Eric?
I can do that.
Get the new room clean. The Halo series products are out. I had the roller bag in goat camp, and you just charge that up, and you don't need electricity to actually run your ozone generator, so that's pretty awesome. So check out Scent Crusher. We have our new Rapid Mobile Shower. That's Working Class Bow Hunter Edition. If that is something you're interested in, you can wear that to wherever you're hunting, and your work clothes or your camo, and eliminate scent while you're getting there. Podcast also brought to you by Leupold Optics. ThermaSeat. ThermaSeat decided to make a code for you fine people. WCTS will save you some money on ThermaSeat. And we got some Working Class Bow Hunter Edition ThermaSeats. We should see.
Right.
We should see about getting more of those. Maybe put them on the store. Let us know if that's something you're interested in getting. Victory Archery. This, if nothing explains the power of Victory Arrow, then what happened to me rolling an antelope like he shot it with a rifle. I'm shooting the RIP TKOs, if you're curious, and I had on the end of those the Slick Trick Raptor Trick 100 grain because I know I'm going to get questions about it. I've already got questions from the Buckstorm video. Someone said, "What heavy ass broadheads were you shooting?" And
thing did a cartwheel.
Yeah, it did a full blown front flip is what it did. Podcast also brought to you by Gator Outdoors.
Dingo 20.
Outfitting the working class. They made a code for our listeners, WCB 10. So that's a lifestyle brand and also a retailer. You can get all your favorite brands at Gator Outdoors. We were wearing on this hunt, and you'll watch on the Buckstorm videos, we're all wearing the True Timber Strata camo. Really like that. It's super affordable. You can get into like a full new suit for, $150 can get you into some good camo, good quality camo. And we get all of ours through Gator Outdoors, and you have the option of getting Gator Outdoors printed on it if you want, or even working class stuff printed on it. You just got to let them know.
Represent.
Elite Archery, all shooting the cures, code WCB, everything outdoor group products. Big Tine, the code, sorry for the sniffles, the code WCB 2020 gets you 20% off all products on Big Tine.
And they're doing a bunch of giveaways right now, so if...
we should read that off. You got that handy?
I do not.
I can pull it up.
Sorry, let me pull it up.
Hopefully this podcast launches in time for that. I always hate when people do that. You know, Sniffles, how are you?
Hello there, friend.
Big Time's Instagram countdown to October giveaway. This is the Illinois version. 4 bags of Buck Brunch, 2 Foundation Clover, 2 Clover Select, 3 Last Stand, 1 Grow Your Own Luck shirt, and then a patch hat, Big Time patch hat. Check them out. And Old Barn Taxidermy. They're doing something now. If you shoot a deer and you take it to Old Barn Taxidermy and you say, hey, I heard about Old Barn Taxidermy on Working Class Bowhunter, and they go, oh, you don't say. We're just going to put your name in this little drawing of Working Class Bowhunter listeners, and at the end of the season, we'll pick a winner for a free shoulder mount next year.
That's right.
So if you are a listener, obviously if you're listening, you're a listener, and you are successful, take it to Old Barn, say, hey, I listened to those drunk idiots on Working Class. Can you put me in their drawing? They'll go, sure. Yep, they are drunk idiots. I guess. Name goes down, and then you could win a shoulder mount for next year.
We already have one guy that submitted one, right? Is taking one there?
Yeah, I would say 1 to 3 right now. I mean, seasons are just kicking off, so get in there and get it done. Your chances should be good. There's only like 10 people that listen to this, so you have like a 1 in 10 chance.
I'm gonna put my name in that drawing this year.
Hey, fuck them.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what it is. Doug, you have a veteran shout out.
I do. This one was submitted by Cody Blackburn, and the veteran is Max Fulmer. He's in the U.S. Navy. It says, hello, my shout out would be for my great grandpa. He served in World War II and is turning 101 this year. Damn. He is amazing and was playing golf at least once a week until last year. He doesn't hunt, but I just wanted to give him a shout out. So thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Thanks for your service, man.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for reading that, Doug. Veteran shout out. WorkingClassBowhunter.com. Contact tab. There's a veteran shout out form if you would like to submit one. That was a quick one.
Yeah.
It's a nice little, here it is. Please read it.
101 years old. Jesus.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine that.
Way more of a badass than we'll ever be.
Yep. We'll still be podcasting, right?
101?
That's a long time to podcast.
You have to get an Uber to get to the studio.
We'll just like...
We'll be flying cars by then.
We'll all be robots by then.
Robotic legs.
Your head will just roll here in like a glass container with air.
I mean, it is 2020. How come we don't have teleportation yet, you know?
Dude, someone get on that.
I always picture it like, remember Halo 1? Those like purple things that you walk into and then you appear. That's how I always picture it.
You think that's how it's going to work?
I hope so.
It should. Yeah.
Or you're going to have to like type in where you're going and then walk through.
I think you just think about where you're going and then it does it.
Works.
Like a drone just like drop me in.
Yeah, or you would set up like different ports, like, hey, this one takes me to the studio, this one takes me to the woods,
the bar,
you know.
Go in the bar at 101.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, this has nothing to do. Well,
what the hell are we talking about right now?
Keep us young. I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast. This trip started off with me getting a ticket. I wasn't drunk driving,
about that.
But me getting a speeding ticket with the podcast trailer going through Iowa. Got a ticket, and that's how this whole trip started.
No warning, huh?
I was going pretty fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Iowa, that area.
I think I was sleeping in the back and I just heard oh shit, he just went through the ditch.
Yeah.
And I woke up, I'm like,
well,
who did?
Normally it's like a 70 mile an hour, but I think we were in a 65 or a 55. It seemed like it should have been 70, but I was pushing my luck. He clocked me at 81. But he only wrote it down for 5 over. Good dude.
Good dude. Great dude. Did you pay that?
I paid it today.
Does he listen to the podcast? Unfortunately not. Obviously.
I don't know. He might now, though.
It's like, dude, you could have cut me some slack. I'm a big deal. My face was on the trailer.
We're going to talk about you.
No, he's like, you're going to hear about this one, boy. No, he was good. He was really nice.
Super nice dude.
He's like, where you going? I was like, South Dakota. He's like, I got family in South Dakota. Good luck on your hunt. Here's a ticket. I'm like, thanks, asshole. And we were on I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. He was a good dude, actually. All right. Here's the podcast. Hope you enjoy.
I'm Chase Rolfson with Rubline Marketing.
This is Jeff Lindsay. This is Michael Pitt. Hey, everybody, it's John Dudley from Knock on TV. Hey, guys, this is Jared Scheffler from Whitetail Adrenaline.
Hi, I'm Taylor Drury from Gator Outdoors.
Hey, this is Nick Munt from Bow Collector.
Hey, this is Melissa Buckman.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast. Working Class Bow Hunter.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. You're listening to the Working Class Bow Hunter. That's right. This is the podcast for Billy Joe Lunchbucket, the working man, just like me and you. My name's Travis T-Bone Turner from The Bone Collector. Thank you for tuning in.
Nobody pushes the envelope like Working Class Bow Hunter.
Hey, this is Jules McQueen, and you are listening to the Working Class Bow Hunter podcast.
It's really, really not that good. Working Class. Working Class.
We're here in South Dakota in the what's this thing? The Stabbing Cabin, the full penetration unit.
The full penetration unit, the Latte Lounge.
Does this have an official name yet?
We kind of picked the Latte Lounge just because, like, right now we're drinking Busch lattes.
Right. Okay, so let me lay this out first for people who don't know, and I probably already did this in the pre-intro, but we're with Buckstorm in your guys' home state, so you guys get the home turf. But no, great dudes. If you haven't checked out Buckstorm, check them out. Jeremy, Travis,
What's up?
and Austin.
How's it going?
So I've hunted with Jeremy and Austin in Colorado for elk before, and then last year Travis and Jeremy, same camp we're in now, and now all three of you guys are in camp with us. So it's
Finally all got
and Eric's
together.
here,
Yeah, and I'm here.
and Papa Dave's here, but he's sleeping in the tent.
He's already snoozing.
Having a nap.
So having a lot of fun. But anyway, we're in the Latte Lounge, which is a pop-up camper with a lift kit,
An off-road.
an off-road pop-up camper, a lift kit. I mean, the whole. Describe this thing. It's badass.
It's just the hunting rig. It's the Buckstorm hunting rig. And actually, we got to get a Sharpie out because every time somebody kills something, we got to sign the table.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Anytime in camp. And right now, it's 100%. We haven't went on a hunting trip with it without killing something.
Okay,
so.
cool. Well, then this kind of gets to our next section. I don't know what we decided on yet at the time of recording this podcast on what the title is, but I'm sure there's something. This is kind of like a two-kill story podcast. It's either like $1 billion arrow.
I want to be a
and
cowboy.
mule deer. I want to be a cowboy. That's the theme song of this whole
Yes.
camp for some reason. It's our. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot to talk about already, and it's day 2.
Yeah, a lot.
Or we call it wall drug because we've seen enough of them signs on the
Yeah,
way.
there's only like 300 of them in South Dakota.
You guys weren't supposed to be here till today. He said
What?
you're staying in Wall Drug.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
were
were
going to
gonna
go
go.
there. You're like, hey, just so you know, they don't have drugs there. I'm like, oh.
That changed everything.
Well, that's a bummer.
We turned around.
Yeah, that's a bummer. We'll be right there. So, do they sell beer at Wall Drug?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Busch
Free
Light?
ice water, too.
They have 5
Free
cent,
ice.
5 cent coffee.
That's right. We seen it on the sign.
And donuts.
I heard it's a national treasure.
Yep.
There's a dinosaur there, too.
Like an actual dinosaur?
Real.
Something like that, yeah.
So,
You can take a picture
do we
with it.
just jump right into these stories
Gee
from
willikers.
yesterday? Or where do we start?
I don't really remember what happened before.
I mean, I guess we could just dive in. What the heck?
Yeah, so, okay, let's just dive in. We did a couple, we went after a few goats in the morning.
Right away in the morning.
Eric, you went first, and you
Yep.
went in after a big boy. And dude, for anyone that's never antelope hunted, you don't realize how unachievable it feels sometimes with a bow. Doesn't it feel impossible?
It feels
yeah.
impossible
Yes.
because like literally every antelope is out in the middle of nowhere on flat ground.
Yeah.
So that it almost seems like it's impossible to even think
Yeah,
about
this is your
sneaking
first
up on
time
Yeah.
ever hunting antelope, so you have
Absolutely.
a fresh take on it.
Yep.
And that's accurate. They're always in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
No cover to get to them, and you got to be able to shoot far.
They
Yeah.
make you feel like you suck.
Oh, it's a humbling experience.
Big
and
time. Big
I've
time.
ade some humble pie first day in.
And most of the time too, like I've been mule deer hunting, and that's like you're going after one deer. With antelope, there's like 10, 12 deers, sets of eyes looking at you
Yeah.
when you're trying to stalk these fuckers. You
Especially
know?
this
in the
time of
wide
year.
open.
Right in the wide open.
Yeah, a lot of
Especially
eyes.
this year's dry.
You're trying to hide behind like just blades of grass that are 6 inches taller than the rest of the blades of grass.
Or hide behind the guy with the decoy that's right in front of you if you're shooting.
Yep, and then you're trying to like work the wind, which is it's been really windy out here. It's really windy midday, and then it dies down,
Yep.
and then it gets really windy midday again.
Yeah.
Is that pretty common?
Yeah, for the most part, it usually dies down in the evenings, but it's kind of hit or miss.
Okay, so-
it's been pretty windy though.
We got some GSM signal coming
One
through
done.
from the old phones here. I'm gonna
Do I have a Busch Light or a Busch Latte?
We have a lot of Busch Light.
Well, it's
in
a
this
latte
camp right now.
lounge, so it's a latte.
So here's what's crazy about this story, right? So
Yeah, you're right.
I want to add in that I've been looking forward to this camp, and I've already had a great time. I've been looking forward to this camp since we left last year. I love antelope hunting. I think it's a great time. I love that it's mostly action, right?
There's a lot of action.
A lot of action.
Compared to other hunting.
Right.
I mean, there's some times where it's slow, but...
Right.
Sometimes it's bad action, but there's always action.
Right.
Well,
right.
last year when
Well,
you got back, you're like, you got to come next year.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to me, yeah.
For sure.
So I was like, I'm in.
So we make a couple failed stalks on some 3 or 4. Probably yesterday morning was the first day. 3.
Yeah.
3 probably.
I don't want to say failed because it's not really. It's you don't feel like you failed. You're kind of like,
Right.
damn, that was fun. Let's
Yeah.
go find another one.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So you don't have like the feeling of failure. That's
Right.
probably a
You're
bad
like-
way to put it, but unsuccessful stalks.
There it is.
There you go.
Yep.
So we get going and we're hunting what they call walk in, right? Or is it walk on?
Walk in.
Walk in, which is basically private ground that the landowner has basically signed up to let people hunt it like it's public.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yep.
Yep. 100%.
And then there's BLM and there's different types of government ground we can hunt.
Yep.
Bureau of Land Management. Let's just...
Yeah, not Black Lives Matter.
It's 2020 right now. Let's get that...
We better clear that up.
They should buy some land out here, though, and protest because it'd probably make a really big impression, you know?
Right.
But we'll talk about that in another podcast.
It's all landlocked. They'll have to trespass to get to most of it.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not good.
Not good around here if you trespass.
Not good for the home team over there. So anyway, we find some goats that are like fairly close to the road and fairly stalkable. So my dad grabs his bow. I grab my bow. He said, well, if it's a little further shot, you come with. Because my dad's, he just doesn't want to shoot that far. He doesn't have the room to practice that far, whatever. I've been practicing long-range shots. And really, if you ask anybody that's bow-hunted antelope, you got to be able to shoot far accurately if you want to have a fighting chance in this ball game. So
Yeah.
we go in, and Jeremy's got the decoy. My dad's behind him with his bow, and then I'm behind my dad. We're all in a line to try and hide behind this decoy. Well, we had a good wind. The wind was like perfect right out the gate.
Right, yeah.
Then we get into like this cut, and then you're like, fuck, the wind's changing.
It changed. And always does. For a flat prairie, it's crazy how different it can be over one little hill.
Yeah, almost 180.
Yep.
So now it's kind of like a quartering wind for these goats. And we say goats because it's just easier than saying antelope. But so they're working over.
And I think we were planning on waiting them out because they were kind of walking in our direction.
Yeah.
Not popping up the decoy. And I think when your dad moved his bow, it was up above his head, and I don't think he noticed. And I think that's when they caught a little movement.
They all basically got on Death Comp 5 alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was like they caught movement. Let's make them think it's a goat.
Yep.
They're rutting.
You got no choice sometimes. You got to put the decoy up.
Yep. So
And
they were pretty
select your
far.
only
My dad's like, hey, I don't want to do that. Why don't you go ahead and shoot? Or, if you can shoot, you know.
Right.
And then it's kind of getting like now or never.
Yeah, they were getting a little iffy. They were curious, but...
They're getting now or never. I draw, settle in on this buck, and it's on film, and we'll get to this here in a second. I'm on him. I'm like, all right, I'm going to let it go. Just let everybody know, especially Jeremy's filming. My dad's kind of off to my side a little bit. I didn't want him to do something crazy last second, you know. I squeeze this shot off, and it's a long shot. And this, no matter how we tell this story, it's not going to do this justice.
Right.
Right.
I squeeze the arrow off. Arrow's in the air. I'm giving this slow-mo step-by-step because it needs this.
It does.
Yes.
It absolutely does.
Arrow's in the air. Arrow's in the air. Goat, the goat I shot at, dodges to our right, takes off booking. He's out of there. Well, there's another goat, which I have now named the button goat, or button doe goat.
Yep.
Was 15 foot easy to his left.
It was. There was no question in my head, like when you shot, that anything weird was going to happen. They were spread out good.
It wasn't like.
It wasn't like this one was right behind
It wasn't like when you see people shoot a rifle, you're like, ooh, you got to wait for that one behind it to clear.
There was
Like,
no question.
There was none of that. I shoot. This buck dips off to our right. Here comes this button doe, dodging. Arrow still in the air. Arrow still in the air. Center punch, roll, front flip, legs in the air, like I shot it with a rifle on the move. And I
rolled it.
And I go, fuck. And my dad goes, yes, you got it. And I go, no, that's not the one. And the look on Jeremy turns around and he goes, what the fuck? And I sat there for a minute. I'm like,
what just happened?
What happened?
It was crazy.
I literally, so to break it down faster for everybody, I shot, the buck jumped my string, ran, I center punched a doe, front flipped it like you shot it with a rifle.
It was a hell of a shot. I mean, if it could have been worse, it could have got hit anywhere.
Like I said, the doe intercepted your arrow.
Intercepted it. I'm not going to lie, I wanted to cry.
You were. It was iffy there for a minute. I didn't know what to say. I was just standing there.
First of all, I felt so terrible. I didn't know how do you wrap your head around that?
Yeah, it's tough. 1 in a billion, man. 1 in a billion.
Have you ever seen anything like that ever happen? Like in anything?
The closest that we've seen is that one that I ended up hitting in the back of the head.
And we'll get to that story because I want to talk about these animals.
Nothing like the chances of mine happening when we get to it is
much better.
Still so much better.
Do you think so? Yeah. I don't know. I think they're pretty close.
Right.
They are close, but I mean,
just the odds. I mean, like of hitting. We were a little closer at the time, and it spun into the arrow. This is like 1 in a billion. Jeremy's was probably like 1 in 100,000.
Yeah, and the listeners have to understand that there was some serious distance between each goat.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't like that one was right behind it, standing there.
Right. So this happened, and I'm like, one, I feel terrible. One, I feel terrible because I wasn't intending for that to happen. Two, I wasn't exactly sure what arrow had hit. I didn't know where it hit. It turns out it was like a 12 ring.
Yeah, it was money.
And I didn't know how to wrap my head around it. We had just drove that whole drive. My goal was to shoot a mature animal versus what I shot last year. And here I am with an animal that I didn't intend to shoot.
Right.
But, dude, I don't know how to...
I didn't know what to do because I didn't know whether to congratulate you on killing a goat, hug you, or laugh. Like, it was just one of those things like, what the fuck just happened?
You were like, what do I do with my hand at this point?
Yeah. I didn't know what I needed.
Me and Eric were like waiting at the truck because we didn't want 5 people sneaking across.
We just hung back.
Yeah, we just hung back. We thought about having a beer, but we didn't.
Thought about it, but
and we were just hanging out. And then Kurt comes walking back. And
because we seen all 3 of them come over the hill, and then you guys stopped. You and Papa Dave stopped, and it's just Kurt.
We were having a discussion.
And I can see his face like either he missed one or something bad happened. Like he just looks fucking.
And in my head,
pissed.
I was like, I just hope like somebody forgot a rangefinder and like they moved and they were going to reposition.
Someone forgot a release.
Something.
We didn't know what was going on when we seen you guys come over the hill, and then you guys stopped, and just Kurt came. We're like, okay, what is going on right now?
And here's the thing: I know there's people listening going bullshit, and that's fine. I get that because if I was at a bar and told somebody about it, or I say I was at a bar and somebody told me about it, I'd be like, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Right.
I'm telling you, I have no way to explain it that I'm spilling it all out right here. And I'm not going to lie, I wanted to cry. I felt fucking terrible.
You were so upset.
I felt so terrible about the situation. And then you do the whole thing, the shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yep.
It was a long shot. I shouldn't have shot at it. But
should have let down. I mean, there's a million things you could run through your head. But
it's bow hunting.
I should have let that goat to the left have 20 more feet. I mean, but then again,
there was
if the goat would have blew out, I would have been like, man, I should have hurried up and pulled the shot when I had the opportunity. And he was close to busting us. You know what I mean? So you do that whole dance.
It's just the way it goes.
I feel terrible about it, but the thing is, it was ethical. We went in, we quartered the antelope right there, and we ate it in camp. Dude, we had most of that antelope back in camp, packed up, vac sealed in the you brought a freezer, Travis.
Freeze, yeah.
And we got a generator. So it's frozen right now, and if you can hear the generator running, we apologize, but it's literally running the freezer to freeze the meat that we got in camp. But anyway, had it all loaded up. We had the backstrap, the tenderloins last night for dinner.
Way good.
You want to talk about a good eating?
What'd you say? What do you guys call the backstraps?
The gut steaks, the
gut steaks,
the tenderloins.
But if you took tenderloins and coated them with gold flake, and then sprinkled like prairie dust
or diamonds,
musket powder.
Yeah, let's say prairie dust.
Musket powder mixed with diamonds.
The fuck is prairie dust?
I meant to say fairy dust.
Well, we are kind of.
It was prairie dust.
You can go get some right at the door,
dude. You could eat that raw and it'd still be good, probably.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I was in a weird spot yesterday. You know, like
for a little bit, yeah.
Well, I didn't know how to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then first thing I think, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to tell this on a podcast. Everyone's like, that guy's a fucking idiot.
I think the funniest thing, too, is, like, later in the day, Jeremy's like, hey, Kurt, like, are you over this yet? Because, like, I don't know if I should give you shit yet.
Yeah.
Or if it, like, we should start joking around about this.
I want to start making jokes. And for the record, and we haven't posted, one, I don't have great service. I haven't posted a photo of me. We took photos with me and the antelope. And I haven't posted them yet, and I don't know if I will because it's not what I intended to shoot. I have the photo. That might just be a personal weird thing for me that I'll look back on and have a laugh at. But, I honestly, if you want to talk shit, but just so you know, you will never be harder on me than I am on myself about that situation.
Right.
Absolutely.
So save it and go fuck yourself if that's what you're going to do.
There's a lot of people out there that are going to do that same, not the exact same thing, but something similar, and they're going to leave that shit out in the field and keep hunting. So you did the right thing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I mean, that's the thing. Here's what I look at it is. I'm like, well, this is meant to be in a way. Like, because my dad has a tag. Eric, you have a tag.
Yep.
And neither one of you guys have killed an antelope. That's my second antelope and 2 arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was like some sort of like sign from
weird
above
juju
that's like
that it was meant to be, or what?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know
weird
how else
witchcraft shit.
I don't know how else to explain
It's
it.
time for you to ride the pine.
Dude, yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm guide. I'm decoy boy. Call me decoy boy. That's me.
Or
boy.
the mule. You were the mule yesterday, carrying the
Oh yeah, ground blind. and all
ground
that
blind.
Ground blind and shitbag junior.
Speaking
Shit,
of that,
Junior.
you guys had a pretty good morning today.
Yeah,
Little eventful morning.
Yeah, so after I got done crying, wiped up my tears, and ate my tenderloins, which was maybe a lot happier, we yesterday afternoon we went into a spot that Travis, you pre-scouted, and there was a bunch of goats in, and we put a blind up.
Yeah.
And you got so when we say shitbag, we're talking about a goat we stalked I don't know how many times last season, and we couldn't get within like 100 yards of him. And, knowing what I know now, I should have just shot an arrow in his general direction. He might have just jumped into the fucking thing.
Absolutely.
But,
Just fucking wing it from now on.
yeah,
or what?
dude, that's like, what'd you call it? Flock shooting?
Flock shooting goats.
It's fucked up.
That is bad.
It's fucked up. Hey, at least it died quick. But, so Shitbag was this goat we named, and we kind of talked about Shitbag for a year. So you got this decoy. You got to tell the story about Cabela's. Or will the dude listen?
No.
Probably not, but anyhow, I
don't think he fucking
I'm
cares.
going to shit on him anyway.
He can't afford to listen,
So-
all right? He couldn't afford to hunt.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need a 3D decoy because you put a 3D decoy in front of a ground blind, you got a shot. And I'm looking around. I'm like, Cabela's, they got them. So I look, it says limited availability. So I go into Cabela's in Rapid City. I'm like, hey, perfect. They should have one. Get in there, ask for. I'm like, hey, you got this? I'm standing there talking to the guy. He's like, yeah, they're right here. Archery targets. I'm like, those are archery targets, not decoys. He's like, well, this is. Let me get some help for you. And I'm standing there talking to this guy. I look over. It's right in front of me. He insisted that the guy had to come help me still. I'm like, that's fine. Whatever.
So you had to wait?
So I just waited. I'm like, hey, is this? He's like, yep. I'm like, thanks. Thank you, sir. Got it. Also online, the picture looks way better than the actual decoy.
Hey, it turned out kind of cool.
And I'm like, $180?
That's a lot of money.
Should probably get you a little nicer quality decoy.
A little extra foam.
But
you
his
know
head
what?
spins.
We ended up naming him Shitbag Junior. Just
It's
because.
SPJ.
It's it's like if Antelope was on Atkins diet for too long.
Yep. It's like it's not really a 3D. It's like a 1.5 to 2D.
It's
like,
it's 2D and like 3/4.
Yeah, 2.2D. Yeah.
It's 2.2D.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendo.
It's like a bra size.
Yeah. It's if it was a boob, it'd be a real healthy B.
Yeah.
It's a boob.
You know what I mean?
Just one
Yeah.
boob.
It'd be a B for sure.
I don't know where I pulled that out of.
I don't
love
either.
it.
Hey, listen, I'm in a weird spot right now. All right,
You're still thinking. Yeah.
I
you're fine.
am, dude.
You're
I
fine.
am kicking my own ass. But so boob jokes make me feel better.
Yes.
Moral of that story.
Who doesn't like boobs?
B cup shitbag, the goat decoy,
Yep. The goat decoy.
He's got a full name now.
dude.
Shitbag boob junior.
So
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
So we haul this decoy out. I think that's what we're getting to, right? That's
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of the story.
Yeah,
Where we set up the ground blind, I think, right?
Well, yeah, we go look for some other antelope, and we're kind of pissing around. Like, we're just scouting, having a good time. Then we get to this spot. You're like, hey, I think you guys should go set up a blind out here. We strap a shit bag B-cup decoy on my back, and I'm carrying the ground blind with the chair, and I'm guide now. I'm the mule.
Yeah, you were a freaking pack mule.
Yeah. So it's I think we mapped it. My dad mapped it today. It's over 1.5 miles back there, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
It's about like with just nothing, just walking. We timed it. It's like a 35-minute walk.
Yep.
So, I mean, pretty far when you're carrying that much shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get back there, set up the blind, throw the decoy in the blind, and then this morning, Papa Dave and I went out, set the decoy up. Windier than shit, so this thing's like a big propeller because he's got this like stake he can swivel on. So I'm like trying to like, we have it set up 100 yards west of a cornfield, and there's a strip of cut wheat. So I'm like grabbing clumps of dirt to try to like put around the legs. I couldn't get the stake far enough in the ground to have the legs touching the ground. So then that didn't work. So then I just grabbed one of his arrows and stuck it in the ground. So it was like blowing up against one of his arrows, all shitty, you know. It actually looked okay. And daylight hits. My dad's like, "There's an antelope over there," like straight out from us. And I'm like, look glassing, you know, got the old Leupold's product plug. And I'm looking, and I'm like, that's a fucking guy over there with a non 2.2D decoy. His decoy looked fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think he had a piss poor execution, terrible wind, and he's sitting flat on his butt.
Yep.
The whole time right behind his decoy. So I don't know how he's going to get his bow up to shoot.
Right.
He just looked like he just was just there to get away from his wife or something.
Maybe he designed that decoy, and he's just like, maybe he had a video camera set up and he was trying to prove that
he actually made the
my decoy looks so good that you can do whatever you want behind it.
He's filming promos
because he had an antelope suit on too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the shirt. Well, that's the thing I could see. I'm like, dude, motherfucker's got a white shirt on. He's glowing over there. It didn't look like an antelope. The whole time, that's what I saw first. You could see him with the naked eye, and he was 400 or 500 yards away. And I'm like,
and they're curious animals. I mean, I've occasionally like you're sitting there and you know your stock's blown, and you like have a white shirt on underneath, and you like start kind of flopping it around, and they'll walk like 40 yards closer, but usually it doesn't ever get them in bow range.
So they're still at $150 at that point.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, not bow range. So anyway, he's right across from us. His wind is blowing into us. Our wind is fantastic.
Blowing right in the corn.
Oh, it's great, yeah. But the way we have the decoy set up, it was just perfect for a big old buck to come between us and the decoy to get the wind. Mm-hmm. And Papa Dave was supposed to just 25, 30 yards, and then it falls, and we celebrate. So I don't know how many antelope we saw this morning. A ton. Mm-hmm. And it's all public for everybody that's going to judge. Anybody can hunt there if you buy a tag, which is cool. But, yeah, bucks coming in, chasing each other off. Big bucks, medium bucks, small bucks, does, all over. But they would come in, catch that guy's wind, like coming into our decoy, catch the guy's wind, get all weird, turn around. So I'm like, come on, man, what the hell?
Yep.
And the dude was like, what kind of bothered me about it, like he had just as much right to hunt there as we did, of course, like anybody could be there. That's cool. But he just like actively just for like, we sat there from daylight till I think close to 11. Mm-hmm. And he just watched mess up a hunt, one after another. I'm like, God, dude, come on, move. I would move for that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, dude, I got a fucked up win for you. I'm gonna dip off over here.
Yeah,
but even if I walked in the morning and like if it was dark out and set up, and then all of a sudden daylight comes and there's a ground blind out there with a decoy, I'm like, okay, there's obviously people in there.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna
redirect at least. Like, if you're gonna stay in the same field, you're gonna like, okay, let's get our wind right. Maybe I'll swing around and go way on the like north end.
I mean, it was a big enough field. He could have just. I mean, of course, he could have. No problem. He could have hunted. But if I was that guy, I would have dipped off a little further and hid.
Was he playing the wind at all?
Fuck no.
It doesn't sound like he was.
No,
he was playing yesterday's wind.
Dude, he was, and he was
got that spray on. He's good,
and he sat on the wrong side of the blind the whole time.
Yep.
Like I don't understand what he was thinking, but
that was a nice buck that came up like 100 yards. It'll be on the video so everyone can see it.
But he was 107 was as close as he got.
Yeah,
but he wanted to keep coming, but his does were getting weird about that guy.
Yep.
One, they were smelling him because they were way ahead of the buck, so they were cutting his wind first.
Yep.
And then they do their little blow. What do you call it? Like a wheeze or whatever.
Does it have a name?
It's just
It's a weird noise.
Okay, I have a question.
Do it once, Eric.
I don't even know what it sounds. I can't remember. I heard it once the other day.
I couldn't do it. I don't think.
Basically, like an alert call. Some people call it a challenge call, but I think the only way it would work as a challenge call is if there was.
It's like a doe. When a doe blows at you, but the bucks make the noise, right?
Yeah. Yep. And the does will make the noise sometimes.
Yeah.
But the buck is like if you blow a stock with a decoy, the buck's the one.
It sounds like somebody sneezing off.
That first stock we did, the buck did it.
Yep.
I'm like, what in the fuck is that? And you're like, that's the buck. I'm like, huh?
So okay, let me ask you this because the buck made it. That first buck made a noise and he bristled up his neck hair.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's a common thing.
And their ass hair.
That's a challenge call.
But he was like, he tilted his head back and did that, and he was walking with his head back, kind of like he was doing that at our decoy.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't tell because one of his does was getting weird because of the other guy over there.
Yeah, it could go either way. They kind of do it both times, but it's more common when they're kind of on edge.
Oh, really?
And they want like reassurance that whatever has them on edge is, I think if it was a real antelope, for example, and not a decoy, they'd see it walking. It might do it back, and then it's battle royale.
Oh, right.
But you can't recreate that in a
There's
hunting
no call.
scenario.
They make one. I've never tried it.
They do make one?
There's a call. I've heard a few people trying it. It don't work. But
It don't work.
It don't work.
Not even if you waited for another antelope to do it first?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's never worked, but I think the odds are not in your favor.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
The odds are never in your favor when you're antelope hunting.
That's a good point.
We were talking yesterday. I'm like, damn, dude, you can just never figure out what antelope are going to do. And you're like, yeah, nobody knows what antelope are going to do.
Nope.
They just move weird. My dad and I were talking in the blind.
Creature, man.
They are fucking weird. But we were watching them. I'm like, they're coming this way. Oh, nope. They're going left. Oh, now they're leaving. Nope, they're coming back now. Here they come. Here they go. Oh, no, they're going the other way now. Okay, here they are. They're coming back. And my dad's like, I was watching these three goats way out there. He's like, are they coming? I'm like, yes, no, and maybe. One was facing us, one was facing the other way, and one was like off in no man's land somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
They're weird as shit.
It's like when we've been hunting them.
They're alien
We've
deer.
been hunting them since, I don't know, 14 years old probably. So 16 years maybe we've been archery antelope hunting.
Yeah. Have you figured them out yet?
No. Hell no.
Hell
they're
no.
just like, they're not like a deer. They don't have a specific draw they go bed in or whatever.
They're not patternable.
No,
their movements aren't predictable.
I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, they hit that water hole. If nobody bumps them, they're going to hit that water hole because that's where they've been drinking. And they probably will. But the day you set up in there, they might be like, fuck it, we're going to go to this water hole over the hill because we just want to today.
Yeah, for no reason.
Or you're like sitting there talking and you're like, hey, you think, like, what do you think they're going to do? I don't know. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Right.
They don't care. They're not specific to an area.
It's frustrating, but that's what makes it so cool.
Yep.
It is.
So do you want to talk about your buck, your string jump buck?
Oh, the one, yeah.
Because I know we're going to tell the story, but I think this is
kind of
maybe
collides with yours.
I think it's maybe
Of
crazier
weird
than
shit.
mine.
I don't think so, but
I think it's less crazy. But
Austin, you've been quiet. What do you think?
I think they're both pretty crazy, but shit happens when you archery hunt.
Right. It
especially
makes you
antelope.
wonder how many like weird things happen that you know what I mean?
Like this story doesn't get told.
Yeah, there's no platform.
this
for
is
it to
on
spill
video too, so there's proof. But I'll just get right into it. We were in a hay field. There's hay bales out there. Single, I think he was by himself, wasn't he?
Yep.
Which is ideal because you can bounce to hay bales.
He's by himself because he got
Right,
his
you
ass
don't-
kicked by a big buck.
You don't have 40 sets of eyes staring at you.
So we're hiding behind the hay bale. He was at 60 yards, and this was a long time ago. I had a Diamond Justice, super loud, slow bow.
Known for its speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Lightning
Yeah,
fast.
if I could get that bow back and hunt with it now, I probably would.
Great cart bow. Great. Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes out feeding 60
Need a
yards.
fast bow for carp.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I shoot, Travis says that the arrow looked like it was going over. I think it was going to center punch him. Anyway, when
Video don't lie.
he took off, he spun away, and as he spun away, the arrow hit him at the base of the skull. So I mean,
Like his brainstem, pretty much.
yeah, it
spun into
was
it.
right in the bottom, like where their head connects to their spine, is exactly where it hit, and he died before he hit the ground.
I mean, it was unreal to watch. Like, it really was. And it's not how you want it to go down, but it was it ended up being as ethical as it possibly could be.
Yeah, probably.
But that was probably one of those moments too where you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, it was lights out like instantly,
and it was not too long before dark. It was kind of like our fourth down, 40 yards ago, like in the Super Bowl. Like it was,
and his head intercepted it.
I watched that video, and it's crazy. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
I don't feel like mine is that cool because of the circumstance of it.
Right.
But it's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to admit, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the video is like, I mean, nobody could watch it and not be like, oh my God, what just happened?
Right.
But
it was insane.
And we'll probably put it out. I'm just still feeling, like, you got to remember, guys, the time of this recording, it's so fresh. I'm feeling weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that you guys understand that.
We're letting you decide whether
it's got me in a weird spot about it.
Give it a few weeks.
I'm sure
you'll let the video
I'm sure
out.
we'll launch it,
Yeah.
but the thing is, it's like people who listen to the podcast and actually know us will get it was a legit freak deal. What happens is when you put the video out, all of a sudden I'm an asshole.
Yeah, they don't even watch the video. They just fast forward. They find the shot, they watch it, and they're like, "What the heck?" And then they comment.
Yeah,
they didn't follow the storyline. They didn't even look into it. They just
Right. Currently, at the time of recording, I'm beating myself up pretty bad about it.
You're better than you were.
I was upset pretty bad at first, man. I wanted to cry. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to cry.
I want to go out on a limb and say, Eric mentioned this earlier, but he was saying how you were like, "Hey, Kurt, so when's too early to give you shit?" I just want to go ahead and say that was like an hour and a half after this happened.
Dude, not even.
Less. We just got back to the pickup.
Oh, yeah.
I think we might have just got back to camp. Maybe.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. For a little bit, I wanted to cry.
I had to feel you out. I didn't.
I think I kneeled down and had a moment with myself for a second, and just stared at the ground. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
I'm over here trying to validate it, and I'm like, "Dude, it's all good." And I don't know what to say. I'm just saying stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you crack jokes and you laugh, and then you forget all. You feel better. So I'm like.
Right, no.
Trying to feel you out, trying to make the situation better.
Yeah. It's one of those, I don't know. We're deep enough in this podcast.
If I could take it back, I would, okay?
Right, hey, it's okay. But, this isn't stuff that gets aired out a lot for, the general non-hunter population. But, when you were a kid, you shot a button buck on accident, or you have the situation where you shot a mature doe, and then all of a sudden here comes the fawn or the yearling, and then you just felt terrible,
right?
Or just something of that sort that kind of makes you feel a little weird. But you use the resource to the best you can. So
exactly.
It's just we're not monster people for being hunters, and everybody listening understands that. But certain things can kind of put you in a weird spot, especially when it happens like a freak accident. It's kind of the feeling. You ever hit an animal in your car, and you have that fuck feeling?
Yep.
Because you feel terrible for what you hit.
For it.
It's sort of that feeling.
It'd be like hitting a yearling or a fawn with your car. You're like, I wish I would have hit a 9-year-old doe.
Right.
One that's lived their life.
Right.
It's just one of those things that just goes through your head.
Yeah,
we're all human.
You just sit there, you drive for a while after it happens, you're like, God damn it.
Yep.
It's kind of that feeling.
It's exactly that feeling.
Is it? Okay. Yep. I didn't know how accurate I was with that, but it's
100%.
If you've never had that feeling, that's kind of what it's like. I don't know. Kind of fucked, but
it could have went a lot worse though. I mean, you could have also made a bad shot. You could have wounded that other,
right?
The one you ended up killing,
right? Yeah, he could have ducked
ass over a tea kettle. You mean you could have shot it in the ass or in
it looks
guts.
like someone behind me just smoked with a rifle.
It does,
yeah.
but yeah, you're right. It could have. I could have caught that one in the
because then you would have beat yourself up even more.
Oh yeah,
you got to look on the other side of it too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. I'm thankful. That's what, dude. I think it was something was meant.
I just want to go out on a limb and say I've shot a fair amount of antelope with a rifle, and I have never rolled one like that.
That was crazy.
It was quite impressive.
So, anyone that says bow hunting is not humane, this thing went down hard. It wasn't. I don't even know how. I'm speechless.
Yeah, it flipped all 4 legs in the air.
It was wild.
Head over heels.
Boom, boom, yep.
Head over heels, man.
So crazy string jumpers, man. Speed goat string jumpers.
But that was yesterday, and then today.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the
See,
ground
I went
blind.
back. You can tell it's bothering me. I went back on it.
It's all good.
You've been doing it all day today.
I can't quit
He'd
thinking
be like,
about
I want to be a cowboy. And you'd be like, God damn it, I still feel bad about that goat.
it. Yeah, I go from singing high to be like, fucking.
Like the highest high to the lowest low in like 3 seconds.
What would Doug say if he was here?
It is what it is. Yes. I miss Doug.
The old mustache.
Where's he when you need him?
We should just FaceTime him right now so he can be on the podcast with us.
If we had service.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So let's move on to some. That was still positive, but let's move on to super positive.
Yeah.
Today, so after our morning of antelope hunting and goat action, Mr. Jeremy learned how to bow hunt again.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
You did it. You know how to bow hunt. You did it right. I did it on accident.
I hit the one I was aiming at.
Hey, you ever before
shots fired?
I'm gonna get off of like beating myself up mentally about this antelope after I say one thing. If someone's like, Kurt, you ever miss an antelope? Kinda. There it is. Okay,
there it is. Boom.
Let's talk about your story, man.
Alrighty. Austin and I split up from went 3 different ways this morning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, me and Eric went one way. You guys went another way. Did a little deer hunting this morning.
Oh, I thought you guys were together. I guess I didn't pay attention.
No, it was me and Austin went to a different area, glassed for a while in the morning, didn't see anything. Moved on to another area that I've been wanting to go to, but Travis decided to give it to just dish it off to some strange. Yeah, go here. Anyway, we went back. There was another.
He's butthurt.
Not anymore.
They're not strangers.
I
They're
know.
friends.
I know, but it
He
sounds
called it
better.
Jeremy's spot all morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy was just mad. The only reason I didn't want to go there is because I knew they'd already been in there that day. Just saying.
Anyway, we get to this other spot, and how far did we walk in?
Well, there was already people there.
There was already people there. We
Oh, no
talked to
kidding.
them. Yeah, well, they camped right at the spot you park, and the one kid had his first goat, which was cool. It was a pretty nice one.
Oh, really?
And he said his brother had went straight from where they were parked, which worked out in our favor because we went. And I mean, it's a huge chunk of public. And we talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, go ahead and go in there. You're not going to bother him because he's coming out soon."
Yep.
So we headed the other direction, and within
The first hilltop we got to.
It was like a quarter mile, maybe. Austin spots a buck. We had to do a big loop around to get close to him. And long story short, a doe came through the bottom of the draw and spooked him.
Mm-hmm.
He went who knows where. Came up on another tall point to do some glassing, and we glassed for 30, 40 minutes. Spotted quite a few other bucks, and ended up finding the same buck that we stalked first. He was
the one that you spooked before.
Yeah, he had to have been a mile and a half out.
Yep.
And both of us
when you spotted him, he was that far?
Yeah,
or
he
from
was
where you first jumped him.
Where we spotted him, like from where we were sitting to where we glassed. No, he's probably a mile and a half out there.
Mm-hmm.
And
right against Cut Bank.
We came up with a plan. We both were very positive about our plan. Afterwards, now we both weren't. We discussed that we were both just bullshitting each other.
Right.
Yeah. So this
trying to talk each other into it.
Hey, sometimes confidence is key.
Yeah, and it was a long way. So you get out there and you fuck it up, and it's a real shitty deal because you got to walk back and think about it the whole time.
So a lot of times you get mixed up.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
He's right here. You get there, and you're like,
you see the comeback from where you're glassing, and then you get down, and you're like, was it that one, this one, or that one?
In this case, this was like super. It was awesome because there was the one cut bank. It was a big, kind of like a bowl, and you could see it on the Onyx map. So we marked it, and we knew exactly which one it was, which made life so much easier. Because you say you're sitting up there on the hill, and you're like, well, there's 3 draws, and then there's this big ass yellow tree is where he's going to be close to. Well, you get down there, and you're crossing 4 or 5 draws.
Yep.
This draw goes the other way that you thought it did. Anyway, we walked the mile and a half, got, I don't know, when we first saw him down there, a little over 100 yards from him. Came up with a plan to, so right below the cut bank is a big draw with a bunch of trees in it, so it gave us a lot of cover.
But there's also a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shit. The leaves are falling, so the leaves are crunchy, which is, the wind died on us, which wasn't ideal.
We also had 2 deer that we didn't know where they were.
Yeah, and there was other
one buck was on the cut bank, and there was 2 more deer that we seen with them when we seen the one buck bed down on the cut bank.
And if you've ever stalked deer, mule deer, it always seems to be some shitty little fork-horn buck that fucks it up because you don't see
every
them.
time.
They put them in the real shitty spots to watch.
Yep. The guard dog.
Yeah, they're like the guard dog.
Yeah.
Like, you're going down first.
Go sit over there and
like lay up on the hill and overwatch the whole valley, and then
Yeah,
run
and
right
run
through
out there,
all
run
of
out there
them.
first.
So we almost got spooked by one of those shitty little forkies. We came down at the bottom of the draw below him.
Shitty little forkies.
Shitty little forky.
I've never heard you call Forky shitty. Usually you like.
I
forks.
like the big
Forkosaurus.
forkies.
Hey, we have like
Get that right.
2 to 5 listeners that are upset with you right now. 2 to 5.
That's pretty small. I'm cool with that. Why?
Y-Bucks. The mysterious Y-Buck.
Mysterious
they call them Y-Buck.
They're shitty forkies.
That must be
Shitty
That must be a
Because they
West thing.
No, Y-Bucks is just my thing. I'm just saying it to be an asshole. I'm
Oh.
just kidding. There's probably a lot more that'll hate you anyway, so
Yeah.
just push on.
I'm cool with haters. Now I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
here.
Okay, so we backed up after we got spotted
Oh, no.
by the forky.
Thank you. You're getting too far.
You need another beer.
You're getting too far.
You need some aiming fluid.
We
in you.
went down below him and thought we were going to come up below him in the trees and be able to get a shot from there. It would have been like 50 yards, we decided. Well, we're going through the bottom of the draw, and shitty forky, we see the top of his antlers.
Shitty Forky.
And he was alert. You could
was.
tell he was alert, and so we thought it was pretty fucked from there. But we still got to go around and find out whether he's still bedded up there. And that's the shitty thing, is we didn't know he was there anymore at that point.
Yeah.
So you're still doing this real slow, stalking, not knowing that you're stalking anything. You could be stalking dirt, you know.
And then the wind decided to just give up on us.
The wind
while
went
we were-
away. We went back around and came up. It's hard to explain because you can't see it, but we came
Right.
up basically like
Damn near on-
even with them on the side hill.
Yep.
And crawled up, and we sat quite a bit waiting for a small gust of wind to come up because it was pretty loud.
You
And-
wanted it for the noise?
Yeah.
The wind
Yeah,
for the
because
noise.
the grass out there was tall. There was no cattle in there, so it
And
was,
everything's fucking dry.
everything's dry. Everything was just
Makes a
noisy.
shit ton of noise.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we eventually got up close enough to where you can peek up and look through the grass with your binos.
Yeah.
And there was a tree right in the middle of that bowl that pretty much made this happen because he ended up being bedded in between us and the tree when we got 35, 40 yards. And
So you're in the wheelhouse. At this point.
we're in shooting range.
Yeah.
And we were right next to each other, but I couldn't get a shot because the tree, I could see him through the tree.
He had all the branches in
And
it.
he, at this point, is standing up, looking in our direction. So he heard something.
Oh.
He did not
But
smell
he's
us
on the
'cause
opposite side of the tree.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
but like so. There's a cut bank right below us, and then the cut bank circled around like a C, and he's on the opposite side. And there's a tree right in the middle with
Gotcha.
like we're hidden by the top of the tree.
So do you think he was still like on alert from getting bumped before?
He was either on alert from seeing that small buck run away, or he never even saw it. We'd never decided what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he could even seen us or something, kind of
I-
trying to pop up or something.
my
just to
theory
figure
is
out
that he
where the
heard
hell
us because it
at.
was dead quiet when the wind went away.
Right, right.
So I ended up backing up. Austin stayed there to try and video it through the tree just to avoid fucking anything up. Because if you're a
Any
cameraman
extra
and you fuck it
movement.
up, if you fuck it up and you're the cameraman, you feel like shit.
Yep.
And you're fired.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Is that how it works at Buckstorm?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, because all of us would be fired probably.
Yeah, we don't risk, like, we're here to hunt. If we get it on video,
Hunters first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, the video's nice, but
Yeah, have you ever tried to podcast and kill a buck at the same time? It's terrible.
Is it?
Never done that. No.
we should try that tomorrow. That'd be fun. Like,
It would,
walk
but-
around with a headset on, just talk to yourself.
Everyone's
See-
connected by wires.
See, it'd be cool, but there'd be so much dead air.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
be like, all right, he's coming in.
45 minutes later.
All right, yeah, he's dead. It just you might as well just play the audio from a hunting show.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the conversations would be pretty fucking funny, though.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially when you're sitting there glassing the stupid conversations you have
Oh,
with
yeah.
the
Oh,
other
yeah.
guy.
It'd be
There's
bad.
some weird things. I mean, you get a little delirious, you get low on sleep, and
You're tired.
it's just, some weird stuff gets said, and new terms come about. Like we've had coined so many new terms. Me and Jeremy started making rosters of bucks this weekend. It's like you got your starters, you got your second strings, your third strings.
That's a good way to explain some stuff right there.
So you're just like, that's a 4-stringer.
So basically, sorry, I'm kind of jumping back, but I do want to get to that because I think that's really funny. But Austin's trying not to get fired from Buckstorm. But I was going to say, you guys started with a staff of like 100 and it was down to 3. So everybody just fucked up. You guys eliminated them.
Yep. I'm the next in line out.
Yeah.
It's rough around here.
Yeah. So
Jeremy he kind of redeemed his
It's a tough crowd.
Tough crowd. Yeah, you guys are just trying to stay alive here because once you guys fuck, it's just going to end. Buckstorm's over.
Yep.
So you're trying not to mess this up, and you're in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, and then so I went 10 yards to the left, and that I assumed at that point I'd be out of that tree.
So you stayed where you were at.
I stayed where I was at. I had to have all I could see was grass and the top of the tree, so I had the camera up above my head. Still couldn't even really see what the hell I was doing, but it was somewhat on him.
It ended up where I went ended up being perfect because I crawled up. I had I don't know what the hell kind of bush it was. I can't remember. Anyway, it was perfect. There was a yucca plant in between me and the buck, so I can crawl, and that'll cover. I'm not a big dude. It'll cover all of me. I can get right up to it, and I got right up to it, and you fucking distracted me.
Sorry, he needed another beer.
I peeked over, and the buck's still standing there looking in the direction of where I just was, where Austin is.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And his head was covered by the tree still, but the rest of his body was wide open. Couldn't get a range. Through the yucca plant, there was no chance. I was getting 5 yards.
I don't know what a yucca plant is, so I don't know how to...
We'll show you tomorrow.
Okay. It's like yucca bush. It's like the one that looks like a giant cactus, but it doesn't have it's got green little...
It's a pokey motherfucker.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, so I couldn't get a range, and I'm like, I got to draw and shoot now because this buck has been on edge for plenty long.
The clock is running.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guessed him at between 30 and 40, and the cool thing was I drew and popped up, and normally when that happens, they're either scooting or they're looking right at you. Well, he never even looked at me because the tree was blocking his eyesight.
Oh, nice.
So it was perfect. He had no idea.
You had the perfect situation then.
He did.
And it was
scenario.
It was perfect. This is where it gets real weird. I shoot him, hit him, just smoked him perfect, and he did the old heart kick, and he just did full sprint directly at us. And I'm sitting there thinking, do I tell does Austin know this is about to happen, or does he not see it? And he ends up going across the little bowl, comes up 4 feet from Austin.
Fucking Olympic jumps over me.
Saw Austin and then damn near jumped over him.
And Austin's scrambling in the video.
It looked like he's fucking pole vaulted over top
Literally,
of you.
when he hit that bank, he just freaking launched himself.
Yeah, I think he probably saw you at that point,
at that point,
because we were swinging with him.
Yeah, I was trying to freaking zoom out and swing with him, and I was all over the place.
If anyone watches the video, I mean, Austin in his head is like, I'm about to
get
run over.
I'm going to get a hoof to the face right now.
So he's like, he's moving around. He's like, do I jump out of the way? He's backpedaling, zooming out, and then when it comes into focus,
he's 4 feet.
He's 4 feet with an arrow sticking
Which
right out
was great
the pump
because
station.
looking back at the video, you can see where I hit him because he's 4 feet in front of you. Pause the video, and you can see it perfectly.
Because at this point, when you shot him, how far are you guys apart?
10 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Not far at all.
Did you know you pinwheeled
I just
him?
I couldn't get a good
kind of because as soon as he took off, I could hear that I hit him. I didn't know exactly where I hit him. As soon as he took off, he ran behind the tree.
Oh, okay.
And at that point, I'm like, I knew he was coming at us, so it just went to shit. Like, it's one of those situations where you're about to see something really shitty happen. You kind of want to see it happen.
AKA
you just don't say anything about it.
Yeah, and you're like, do I say anything or not? Do I say anything or not? Like, because if I say anything, it might not happen.
Yeah, but what the fuck are you going to say to have him get out of the way and point?
Let him know that he's coming at us. I don't know. It was quick.
Hey, you're about to get gored.
Look out!
You're about to get gored with a fucking hoof.
You're about to die.
It all worked out.
Austin, were you scared? Like, this buck's running right at you.
I don't know. I think when I stood up after, I finished, he went out of sight, I was shaking as much as Jeremy was.
It just happened.
My thigh was just like... thumping on the ground.
It just happened so fast that it there was no time to process what the fuck just happened. And then he took off past Austin, and we lost him behind the corner. He ended up dying 20 yards after we lost him, which was good because there wasn't much of a blood trail, which was weird.
Yeah, because it was like a heart shot.
Yeah, it hit him in the heart.
Exit wound.
Buried in the off shoulder.
Yeah, I think it must have hit him in the off shoulder, and the grass was red. That didn't help. It was tall red grass.
Well, you probably weren't looking for blood that close because you kind of were pretty confident after rewatching the video that he was dead, right?
But
my confidence started
even after we found the arrow. It was like, all right, where the hell?
Yeah, we
is
found the
blood?
arrow, and I'm like, this is cool. We're gonna get on blood now. And then for a little while,
he did kick the arrow out then, huh?
Yeah, and for a little while, I was like, this is gonna. You go from real high to low. I'm like, this is gonna turn into a
search.
I got to pause you real quick. So, did you call me before or after you found the arrow?
Before, because we had to go back for our packs.
So we were still on cloud 9.
So they got serviced because they're up high where they're at. It's relatively high for the area. And he calls me, and I've been fighting a little chest cold. And
he's got the Rona, guys.
No, it's okay.
There's a chance. So if I sound nasally, that's
There's
why.
There's a chance.
He's fucking hacking all morning.
Yeah.
Austin, you and I are cuddling nice.
Sucks.
You're all over.
Of course it happens during hunting trip, but the best thing ever is when you get a call and the first words you hear are pinwheel, baby.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, yes. And
you tried to be excited, but it was real shitty.
But I can't laugh because if I laughed, now I'm doing a little better. But this morning, if I laughed, I coughed.
Yeah, but why is that going to kill my excitement?
It didn't.
Oh, cool. Thanks,
Did it kill your buzz at all?
Yeah, it really did.
Oh, damn. That's sad,
no,
man.
It didn't. We're good.
But I wanted to hike in there and help you pack them out, but I was like, I got to take a nap. I do. I just got to take a nap.
It ended up being right around 2 miles pack out, which was...
Bro, I brought the fireball and the sandwiches.
You did bring the fireball, and he did not make the sandwich like we asked.
Hey, I did say, are they going to need help getting that out? And
we could have used it. Thanks, assholes.
Well,
what'd you tell him?
Travis was like, no, I think they're good.
It was 5 miles.
Travis was like, oh, no, they got it.
Well, for the record, I asked, you guys going to be able to handle it yourself? Jeremy hasn't recovered him yet, so he's on cloud 9, and he's like, oh, yeah, we're good. We're totally good.
We're
and
fucking
I'm like,
pumped.
Have you fucking seen me?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a new pack. I want to get bloody. He's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
I was doing that because I was feeling bad for you.
But all jokes aside, I mean, it probably didn't really constitute someone hiking in 2.5 miles.
No, it wasn't bad. He was pretty big body.
Maybe meeting you a mile in.
It's one of those things that sucks while you do it, but when you're done, it's cool to think back on.
That's the greatest part of
secondhand fun,
public land hunting.
We did not take as good of a route out as we did in, though.
Agreed.
That always happens. Never fails.
But we survived it. We're out. It's all good. It was a good day.
And there's a buck. We got antelope in the freezer. We got a mule deer buck in the freezer.
2 critters in 2 days.
Yeah, it's
tonight for dinner to top it off. Well, yesterday we had grouse, we had antelope, and we had what was the third one? Bear. We had bear.
A bear.
Yep.
And in camp, we're living large in camp.
We are. We're eating good.
Yeah, we're eating real good. And tonight we had bighorn sheep brats.
Yeah,
with
buddy.
Mountain House mac and cheese.
And for anyone that wants to talk shit, try it first because that was the greatest combo ever.
Well, yeah, and we're so white trash. We're putting the mac and cheese
on
the bun,
and then the brat on top, and then with a little ketchup on the top of that.
So. And then we ran out of brats, and I just had 2 more buns with just the mac and cheese.
Yeah, I had one of them, and it was fucking fire.
I did too.
Yep.
That's poor people food.
Carb load.
We're acting like we're acting like our listeners are going to judge us for doing that. When
why wouldn't they? Hey, macaroni and cheese on a hot dog.
You think I count my carbs?
Yeah, they'd be doing the same.
They'll be giving us tips on what to try next time.
Yeah, they're like, hey, dude, try this next time you eat Mountain House.
Chop some Spam up and throw it in there with it.
Yeah. So, you ever had fried bologna? Yeah, dude.
You ever had ramen in a hot dog bun?
Oh, man.
Oatmeal cream pie and a hot dog bun. Best combination ever.
Oatmeal cream pies at midnight. That's what the Buckstorm crew does.
We had a lot of cream pies at midnight, never an oatmeal one.
the beat us bites.
That's a Travis quote for anyone that's wondering.
Oh, my God.
Hunting camp gets... like you said, you get like delirious a little bit. And it's like dumb shit is funny.
Yeah, but you laugh at everything. That's what makes it
fun. Dude,
fun.
when we did our elk hunt a couple years ago, we were sitting on top of this is a perfect example.
Butthole Mountain.
We named a mountain Butthole Mountain, because it just sucked to go up. And
I thought it was
like,
maybe shaped like a butthole or something.
It could have been.
I don't think it was. I don't remember how.
I just thought about a mountain that might look like a butthole.
Volcano.
Like, what would that actually look like?
Well, we around here we're like, where's that mountain that looks like a nipple? Because then we're nowhere close to camp.
Yeah, that's true too.
The twin nipples are a little further west.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Twin nipples, and you get the single nipple. over
Yep.
my ass.
Yep. Exactly.
Lonely nipple. But we were on Butthole Mountain, looking over a drainage, and we were just. I'm not going to say what we named the drainage, but
I can only fucking imagine. Tell me off air.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. But just the shit, and we're just like laughing about dumb stuff, just sitting on there like
we're just laying there having lunch and just
That's
laughing.
how deer camp is, man. It's the fucking camaraderie.
If you can't laugh and like about stupid things, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Or just don't come to our hunting camp.
Yeah.
Like, you are just going to judge us, and we don't really want that. Like, we don't want your high classness looking down on what we're
Well,
about
and
to
that's
do,
the thing,
you know?
like, when I first got to camp and we met these guys, right away we're giving each other shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was instant.
Like, right off the bat, we're giving each other shit like we've known each other for fucking 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's shit I want to talk about that I'm just not gonna. For, like, jokes we make that just... They just don't leave camp.
Maybe if we finish the beers on the table, we can do a third shift podcast.
Cancel culture is a real thing, even in the hunting game now.
But there's like joking, and then there's like we're doing this, and you know, like it's not like we're joking while we're hunting and we're not taking it serious.
Right,
like
right.
when you get in the moment, it's like game time.
It's kind of like the in between.
Yeah, for sure.
Times that we're doing all this because I mean,
it's a mental game.
Oh, 100%.
Like
you almost need like for how serious we are at our hunting, you need that like silly mental break in between it.
Yep.
So you can kind of like click, hit the switch, and then you're back on your next mode.
If you're serious the whole time, it's
exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
And,
and you got to have fun.
It's already exhausting. Why make it more exhausting?
Yeah, that's the thing. Take vacation from work, and guys at work like have fun on vacation. And I'm like, I probably work harder on hunts than I do actual work.
Right? Oh, yeah. The guys at work told me that, too. Like, have fun on vacation. I'm like, it's not really vacation because I'm still getting up at the same time, and I'm working twice as hard as I actually do at work.
Right.
Running all day, no stopping.
Yep. Work's work. Hunting's different. Like, you have a, solo mission to accomplish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a different mission, but it's like...
Your brain is, turned on different levels than what it normally is. Like,
totally.
Your concentration part of whatever operates in your head on that's exhausting. If what you guys said in your guys' sheep video, just glassing and looking for an animal for 6 hours is doing it for an hour hard looking is mentally exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Like you feel it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it in my head right now from just looking through glass.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. I have a treadmill at home, but I ain't walking 10 feet on that motherfucker. But I get here and I'll walk 6 miles a day,
Yeah, right.
Shit, Eric didn't even bring his pack this morning, and we did 4.5 miles.
Yep.
I had the conversation with my dad. He drinks water and snacks and shit when he hunts, and I don't do.
I forget to drink water.
I don't eat and I don't drink water when I hunt because I don't have to piss or shit my pants every time
I drink
I'm
and
around.
eat Big Macs when I'm in the stand.
Now, but don't get me wrong though. If I'm going in Colorado, I had my water bladder full, shit like that, stuff that's actually going to kill me.
And Beatus bites.
Beatus bites. You got to have your Sour Patch Kids, your snacks.
Your Beatus bites.
Yeah. What's your go-to Beatus bites?
Oh, fruit snacks.
Fruit snacks. The pro tip.
Yep.
What would be number 2?
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While hunting.
While hunting.
While hunting.
Yep.
But just on the normal basis, just fruit snacks.
Yep,
If you get the chance to hunt with a guy with diabetes, just do it because they got the snacks.
Yeah, they carry the weight for the whole freaking
But
team.
don't eat all their snacks, or you could potentially go to jail for murder.
So after Jeremy shoots his
manslaughter.
For manslaughter because you ate all his snacks.
Yeah.
Austin came in clutch. He had a peanut butter and jelly he shared with me.
Yep.
3 days.
And then after that, he had water.
Did he angle cut it and cut the crust off for you too?
He did.
Write you a love note so we can read it.
Have a good day, honey.
Oh my god. So stupid.
Yeah, but it's funny.
It's awesome.
We're dumb.
Butch lattes are flowing.
This is the second day that we've all been in camp. So this is that's an hour-long podcast of stories already on day 2.
Yep.
I feel like we've been here for a week already, though.
Yeah.
It does.
That's the best kind of hunt, though, when it feels that way. That's how we said about our sheep hunt. Like, it was like 2 to 3 days for most of them.
You're kind of cool with like closing the book on that hunt when it's like that because you put your work in.
Yeah, you put your work in. It happened how you would draw it up if you like could, if
maybe
in your head. But well, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm fucking around. But yeah, absolutely. Well, boys, let's Papa Dave and Eric got to get a goat, and Austin, you got a muley tag or a deer tag?
I got a deer tag.
And what are you doing now until you leave?
I got a deer tag. I got an antelope tag. Jeremy still has an antelope tag. I think tomorrow we're going to go hit a new area and kind of scout it for goats and deer hunt. Yep. And then you guys are going to hop in the ground blind. Should be good. I mean,
I'm kind of excited for the morning because I think Papa Dave and Eric are going to sit in the blind, and I'm going to sit like 100 yards behind them.
Technically, everyone saw his tags besides Kurt.
Yep.
Yeah. There's still a lot of time.
Damn it, Eric. I'm the mule. Hey.
You're the mule.
It's good to have a mule, though.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm kind of relaxed now. Yeah, I wasn't at first. It took me a minute to be like, hey, dude, this is probably a good thing. Like, So I'm going to sit it back in the corn, and I'm going to glass through the corn and watch the blind, and I'm going to film from, like, third person.
Yeah.
Well, we got to find a chalkboard before the morning, remember?
To signal, because we have no cell service. Like,
he's got to write on the chalkboard and then hold up the sign so we know if the buck's coming or not.
See anything and hold up the sign.
Hey, I got to poop. Be right back. BRB.
Got any TP?
Any TP?
Yeah, I'm just like holding the sign up, erasing it, writing new shit.
Now you can put the time and effort into helping them and not worry about what you got going on. So, I mean, it ended up working out.
It worked out great, actually. So.
Everything's meant to be at the end of the day. It's like,
oh, yeah.
You'll look back, you'll be like, I always think about that. It's like, if this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened. Or if this did happen, this wouldn't have happened.
I'm not bummed about it anymore.
So. And it was fucking crazy.
It was
and tasty and really, really tasty.
It was tasty.
I was truly, I am beating myself up over it pretty bad, but I'm also like cool with it.
Yeah, but if you weren't, then it'd be weird. So
that's so true.
Yeah, if you were like fist pumping and stuff, like when it happened, and you're like, yes.
Fucking rolled him.
Right, then it'd be a little weird.
I didn't even think about that till now, and that would be fucking weird. Yes, you're right. That'd be fucking weird.
I didn't either because it'd be like, I don't know. He's kind of
like, all right,
delusional.
Yeah, the non-resident goat season got canceled next year.
yeah, you fellas aren't coming back. They canceled it.
Right, it's like, I'm just glad the look on your face, Jeremy, when it happened. You looked at you like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I wouldn't have known what to say. I would have been like, set your boat up.
That's exactly what I did. I didn't say anything.
Dude,
I wouldn't have known.
I was
just fucking bizarre.
Yeah. It was the weirdest shit of all time.
I think Kurt just walks up. The first thing he says is like, you're not going to believe what just fucking happened.
No.
I'm like, oh boy, what's going to come out of his mouth next?
Yeah, I don't know what this episode is going to be titled, but something along the lines of, if I told you this at a bar, you'd tell me to go fuck myself.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, and be sure to check out the video because however we put the video together, it'll kind of tie into everything we just talked about today. Mm-hmm. It'll kind of go together well. There might be a couple videos for today.
Oh, yeah. But we got a lot of footage. I filmed a lot this morning, too.
Yep.
So however you guys chop it up, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But cool. That's it. Day 2. 2020 Antelope / Mule Deer Camp Podcast /
5 days left.
Meat Seeking Arrow / $1 billion Arrow
/ Kill Camp
/ Kill Camp. All right, you know what to do. Go shoot your bow. More accurately, well, I was going to make a joke. Go shoot your bow.
Better?
So wait, we're making jokes now? Are we good with the joke?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to make a joke on myself, but I can't. I didn't do it.
I think Jeremy's got one stored away in his pocket.
I
in his back pocket. I think he's got one.
Go shoot your bow at a non-moving target.
It wasn't moving. It wasn't moving. It's
go shoot your bow. You might hit something.
Guess what? Just go shoot your bow. How about that?
Just go shoot your bow.
Spray and pray. Go shoot your bow. We
Flock
love
shoot.
you.
Flock
shoot. We hope you enjoyed that podcast. What a wild ride. Am I right? Am I
Put
right?
a saddle on it. It's so wild.
I am so wild. What did Coulter Wall say? If you don't buck you off, you've learned to ride. So if you made it through that podcast, you've learned to ride. We want to do something real quick, something we don't normally do. But we have a Patreon account where we have a $1, $5, $10 membership, and we wanted to say a quick thank you and embarrass ourselves by butchering all of these loyal listeners' names.
It's going to go great.
So First, I had a comment here quick on the top of my list that I wanted to read, and then we'll get to the Patreon ones. This is kind of a thank you. Shut it off, move to the next one if you don't care, but if you'd like to listen, do it. This is written in by Dustin Bullock. Not really a question, but love what you guys are doing and stand for. Maybe just a shout out on the podcast from a fellow working bow hunter and bush latte lover. IBEW Local 910 electrician, Northern New York, Dustin Bullock. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Wage brain, you know.
My guy, Dustin.
Wage brain. And then, so our $10 Patreon subscribers, I'm going to go down the list and just say a huge, huge thank you. Hopefully I can see this. I'm having a hard time. Come on. This is failing already. Jennifer McIntosh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy. That's all he has. Is
just Andy. Well, thanks, Andy.
My main man, Andy.
Andy, what up? Drake Sprinkman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Caleb Essenball. I hope that's a really hard last name.
The best thing about this is you try to say people's last names, I think.
I'm terrible with it.
It's awesome.
I don't even really give an effort.
There goes our $10 a month. Boom.
Yeah. They're just like, dude, nah. You got to put more effort into it.
Right.
Enunciate.
Enunciate. Yeah, clap it out, bro.
Yeah. Tony Smith, Justin Kenyon, Carvin Wilson, Louis Moeller, Gage Chestnut, Nick Jansen, Hunter Sykes.
Yo, these are all way too easy for you.
I know, these are getting easy. Rolly 920. What up? Sean Polk, Drake Morin, Kevin. Whoa, that's an awesome last name. Sikorsky.
Sikorsky.
That's a cool last name.
That's a badass name.
Thank you for the support, sir. Corey Smith, Joseph Davis, Josh Thompson, Judd McCollum, Gene Miller, and our listener from Switzerland, Jasik Maga. I don't know. That's an awesome.
Smokes.
That's a sweet spelling. Magadadzio.
Magadizio.
Yeah, we're going with that. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate your support. I hope I didn't miss anyone. If we did, it hasn't popped up yet, or you subscribed after we recorded this. So we just want to take a minute.
Go and subscribe if you do hear this.
Yeah, we appreciate the extra support. We're going to be, as time goes on, we have big plans for 21, and we're going to get more inclusive with our Patreon subscribers and reaching out to them for a lot more. Time is our biggest challenge right now, but we're working on changing it so we got a lot more free time to tackle more things that we want to do. More guests, more podcasts, more stuff, more merch, more everything.
More everything.
So we appreciate your support and helping us get there.
Guns hot.
Guns hot. Anyway, officially, go shoot your bow. Good luck out there. Send in your photos with you working class and some critters. We will post them up and put you in the drawing.
Hell yeah.
Love you. Go shoot your bow.